Welcome back to the channel. We are talking about Chelsea, West Ham, and what we learned about this one. I know a lot of the Chelsea fans are going to clock in. Maybe the West Ham fans are going to watch this if they're not depressed. I get it. And maybe the Premier League fans are going to watch this one. So Chelsea just defeated West Ham 5-1. Interesting set to this one on a Friday night because Palmer ends up getting injured in warm-ups. And I looked into it a little bit. It looks like it's not serious. But Enzo Maresca basically just took him off as a precaution, long season ahead. But then Chelsea go on and they win 5-1, and it's the way they do it as well was impressive. Esteval goes into the lineup. He goes into the lineup. They start with Joao Pedro at the 10, and they play Liam Delap as the 9. And I got to say, they looked really good. Now, is it a case of Chelsea looking really good or West Ham being terrible? West Ham have played 2 games now in the Premier League. They have 8 goals against, and they've only scored once. And I'll tell you this, the goal that they scored, Lucas Paqueta, showing his class tonight, an amazing lefty shot, top corner outside the box. Nothing Chelsea and nothing Sanchez could do about it. One of those goals, and really outside of that, Sanchez made a pretty good save in the second half, so you like to see it out of Sanchez if you're a Chelsea fan. But just dominance from Chelsea. And this is after Sunderland last week destroyed West Ham as well, 3-0. So West Ham are now becoming a very popular team in the eyes of, I guess, Premier League fans that watch all these games. And they're popular in the way that they're a popular pick to get relegated, I think, now. I think everyone's overlooked it. I think in my preseason predictions, I had them 14th or 15th. You know, I think with some of the quality of players they still retain, I was confident between Paqueta and Todibo and JWP and Bowen. But, dude, I mean, you look at this side, Wan-Bissaka, Souček, Füllkrug, who just, literally a summer ago was cooking at the Euro, and they just look shocking. Is it the squad? Is it Potter? I'm not really going to talk too much about West Ham because they just look freaking terrible. Now, West Ham, 0 points. People are thinking the manager might get sacked. They'll see Wolves in the Cup this week, and then they've got Forest, Spurs, Palace. I mean, that's not going to be easy. Palace are looking like a really sneaky team this year, although they did just sell Eze, right? So that's kind of like, man, for me this year with Palace, it's like what could have been because they shipped off Olise. He's playing world-class level, and then Eze is just such a good player. Imagine they had those two with that team. Anyways, that's besides the point. I'm a little out of breath because I just lifted a couple weights for the first time in like 2-3 weeks, and I'm still getting back, so I don't mean to seem like I'm out of breath. But let's talk about the good stuff for Chelsea. I think you have a good problem now at Chelsea because you see Esteval in the lineup tonight. You're like, yo, wow, right? Wow, because Esteval goes on this solo run tonight with the pass across the box, and it was just such a nice play overall. And Enzo gets the finish on that one. And, what are the other talking points with this one? I mean, Joao Pedro, it's like we watch this guy as a 10. As a 9, we're like, wow, this guy is really, really good. Amazing goal scorer. And at the 10, you're seeing what he can do tonight. He gets himself 2 assists and a goal. He just looks so good there. So I see these Chelsea fans. I see people saying now, well, Palmer was better at the Club World Cup when he played on the right. And that was against Nuno Mendes because Palmer can cut inside from that angle a bit better and play those diagonal balls. So what do you do if you're Chelsea? Is this something where do you stick with a lineup like this? I like when Palmer's out wide too because I think Enzo thrives a bit more through the middle when Palmer's not in the middle. Maybe this is just reactionary. So you guys let me know as Chelsea fans, what's the way going forward? That Liam Delap, really just good with the back to goal. Tonight just wasn't good. I want to see more out of him when he leads the break, connecting the passes, stuff like that. But, bro, what you got out of Neto, and what you got out of Esteval, and what you got out of freaking Joao Pedro, incredible. And Enzo and Caicedo, the reason I chose this team to get second this season was mainly because of these two, and also the fact that I felt like Joao Pedro was going to have quite a season this year with his goal scoring and his playmaking ability. I did. That's why I felt like Chelsea was going to get second. I was a little bit not so sure after watching last week because, yes, Palace are good, but a 0-0 draw, it's not what I wanted to see to start the season for them. And now I'm feeling a little bit more confident. Now, my one thing with Chelsea this season, it's similar to Liverpool. The defense, yes, I really rate Cucurella. I think the center backs both have good goal-scoring abilities, but I think the defense still, for me, I'm a little bit worried with them conceding at least a goal or two a game. It's the same with Liverpool. Whereas I look at Arsenal, and that's a team that I just expect to get clean sheets. So is Chelsea's going to have the same dilemma I think Liverpool has, that they're going to have to put up goals every game. That Palace 0-0, yes, they kept a clean sheet, but Chelsea's going to need to put up goals because I do think they will concede a good amount this season. I'm not saying their defense is bad, just the style of the way some teams play, I do feel like they're a little bit more open and prone to that. But West Ham, honestly, shocking. I'm not going to make too much of this. I think West Ham are in a serious battle of that 17th to 19th area this season. They're going to have to figure this shit out quickly because the start in the season, 1 goal for 8 against, and your 1 goal was like a wonder goal. And then Chelsea, the question marks are, what is the lineup going to be next game? Is it going to be Palmer back in a 10? Because you just look better when he's out on the right, and you looked good at the end of the Club World Cup, and that was the best left back in the world. So, and Estevao, I got to say, Estevao, let's give this kid some time at this club because I tell you, he looks like a serious talent. He really looks great. So whether he's getting some time, if Palmer's out there and he's getting some time out on the left, whatever it may be, we got to see this kid's development at the football club because he looks really good. Like what they got out of him tonight was great. I thought Enzo missed a really easy chance he should have got. It was a really nice play as well. And I think Caicedo is showing us that, yeah, he is, post Rodri injury, he has become the best 6 in the Premier League. I mean, Caicedo is just unthinkably good. And that's why, for me, I had this team second because I really, look, it's not that this game tonight happened and I'm back on my second place train, but I feel the level of confidence that, yes, West Ham is shit, but the team that I saw at Chelsea tonight, the way they played this game, I mean, they didn't even try the last 30 minutes. So it makes me a bit more confident in this Chelsea side going forward. The depth is really nice to have. You can bring in Gittins off the bench, Reece James, Hato debut. You got Santos, Fofana coming back. You got all these players coming in off the bench. You really added a level of depth with this offseason to this Chelsea team by bringing in Delap, Pedro, Estevao. The lineup, the attack for Chelsea, it just looks so much more fluid. It looks so stagnant at times with Palmer and Jackson, and then you got in these runs of form where you would draw 5 games and not really get a lot of points out of it. I think this team in the attack, in the flow of it, because the midfield is so good, that duo of Caicedo and Enzo is just so good, man. Because they are so good and they hold the ball well as a pivot, and Enzo really gets the ball and moves the ball well in that midfield. The attack, because they brought in guys, especially Joao Pedro, that can score the football, and it's not just all on Palmer. This Chelsea team, I think, is going to definitely get top 4 this season. All right? So it's that's not an upset pick. The question mark going forward, I said it last summer that Cole Palmer is a generational talent, but we got to see more out of Palmer. Palmer has a really big opportunity here, right, to do something special in his career, but we need to see more consistency out of him, especially when he's playing in the middle at that 10 position, because we watched Joao Pedro tonight, and we're like, if you were a Chelsea fan as well, and you're like, damn, you got to see more out of Palmer, and respect to Palmer. He's done a lot for this club since he's come here, but hopefully he's healthy soon. He plays in the next couple games, and we got to see more out of him. I still think Chelsea's best side, though, is probably him being out wide. I don't think Enzo Maresca is going to do that right away. I don't think so, because usually how you start the season is how the manager's going to want to go with it for a bit. But that's ultimately the question mark. How much can Palmer contribute? Because it has been a lot of Premier League games now since we see Palmer getting on the score sheet and had a really good run of form in the Premier League specifically. So consistency for him is going to be the biggest key to Chelsea's success this season, I think. Because, look, at this point, Delap, maybe one game he's going to be good. Maybe one game he's not going to be great. It's at least maybe probably a little more consistent than Jackson. Joao Pedro is a baller. I mean, this guy this season looks like he's going for 30, 35 goals and assists easily. And that midfield is just nasty. So as long as Neto, Estevao, Palmer, these guys can do their job of distributing and taking players on one-on-one, obviously Palmer's a little bit more of that playmaker. Estevao and Neto kind of more going one-on-one. I think there's a lot to like for this Chelsea team going forward. I think West Ham is in a lot of trouble. I think this West Ham team is horrendous. I don't even have much more to say. I watched their game against Sunderland too, and they look terrible. So Chelsea's got up next. Chelsea will play Fulham. Brentford, and United. That United game's going to be massive. But Chelsea, Fulham, okay. So look, the schedule to start the season, not too bad. And then we got a lot of football tomorrow, guys. So we're going to watch all the football tomorrow, and then we'll keep you posted on this channel. Peace.